time to drop.
Welcome back to the Hennisphere, everyone. It's time for day 7 of Six Flags Fiesta Texas coaster rankings. Today's coaster is Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster, another Alan Schilke designed masterpiece, and this is the first of its kind RMC Raptor single rail prototype. This was opened just over 1 year ago, May of 2018, at my home park, and I got to ride it 5 or 6 times since it's opened. But I will say that it's usually closed. It sounds really sad, and people have speculated as to why. I've heard a couple of things that I can confirm, because they were from people that used to work there. It's a prototype. It's kind of expected. There's going to be bugs to work out, and I really hope that Six Flags has corrected all those issues, and I hope that they build more RMC Raptors in the future. When this video is being recorded, they have not announced any new Raptors for 2020, but maybe they've already been announced. This thing is 1,800 feet long, pretty short. It's 113 feet tall with a 100.0 foot drop, 90 degrees on this drop. So that's pretty insane. 52 miles an hour, that's awesome for a coaster that's just over 100 feet tall, and it has 3 inversions. Let's get into the categories. We'll start with the enthusiast ones. Height. 113 feet is just above average, but this is going to get a 5 out of 10. Can't give it a 6. Speed, over 50 miles an hour. That's good. That's real solid, so 6 out of 10. Drops, that first drop is amazing. You have crazy ejector air time going down that hill all the way down, and then you have another fantastic drop with air time halfway through the ride. After that first inversion, you come over to where like tidal wave used to be, and you do that little zigzag and then drop down into the cutback. That is a phenomenal little drop right there, just like Iron Rattler coming off of the canyon down into the tunnel. That drop right there is also amazing. That reminds me so much of that drop on Iron Rattler. 8 out of 10 for those drops. That's above average. G-forces, you have so many negative G's on this ride. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3 main areas where you are just being ejected right out of your seat up into the restraint. Very forceful, probably the most forceful ejector air time I've ever felt on a ride. 8 out of 10. Very, very good. And wow factor. These haven't been cloned a whole lot yet, so wow factor is very high, and it's new. Maybe this score will go down later if Six Flags adds like 7 of them. I don't know, but for now, wow factor is amazing. Everyone wants to ride this. They will travel from all over the world to ride it. If it's closed, they're gonna have a bad day, but oh well. If it's open, you get to experience something pretty unique. It's a real treat. 8 out of 10. Add up these scores. For the enthusiast categories, you get 35 out of 50. That's the second highest that I have ranked so far, just ahead of Steel Eel, and it's just behind Superman Krypton Coaster. Moving on to the general public categories. Theming. There is excellent theming leading up to the station. When you're outside, you have a big old statue of Wonder Woman. You have that archway with the nice architecture. Then in the queue line, you have booming music, very loud. Sounds great. Plenty of bass. Then you have another statue of Wonder Woman with some columns with flames coming out of the top. And sometimes all of those flames are lit. It just looks awesome. You have even more columns surrounding you. It just looks awesome. It feels like you're in the presence of a god, really. So very well done with that. And then once you get on the ride, there's really nothing. So 6 out of 10 though, because that queue is very well done. Restraints. I don't have a problem with the restraints. They can be kind of uncomfortable on my thighs. I don't know what it is, but when I get back to the station, it's not that my thighs are like falling asleep. It's just that I'm sitting in like an awkward position. They start to like go numb. I don't know what it is. It doesn't make the ride worse at all. Restraints get an 8 out of 10. I've heard that they have redone the restraints and maybe gave it more padding. When I rode it after that rumor, I couldn't notice anything new. So I don't know if they added padding or redesigned the seat profile a little bit. Layout. The layout is just so fast paced. You have some good elements here. First drop, they knocked it out of the park. That's an excellent first drop. Gotta be the best first drop on a 100-ish foot tall coaster ever for me. Then that first inversion, you come right up into it and turn over, come back down over the water. Oh, you have a great airtime moment right after that, just a twisting turn. You start off banking kind of like you're gonna go to the right, but then it actually moves over to the left and then banks to the right as you come back down. It kind of seems like you're gonna go to the left, and you do move to the left, but you actually at the top, when you crest the hill, you bank down to the right. So awesome moment right there. You come up into a quick turnaround, do a little zigzag, and then you have that amazing ejector moment like I said. You do that up into a cutback element. When you come out of that, you go right into a corkscrew to the left. You do a quick turnaround up into a crazy airtime moment into the brake run, just like on Iron Rattler. So it's just non-stop. The layout is short, but all of the elements are amazing and thrilling, and the airtime is just out of this world. So layout, 8 out of 10. That's a very strong layout. Now the length. I said it's a short ride. It's less than 2,000 feet long. That's only going to earn a 4 out of 10. Smoothness. It's an RMC, and I am actually going to change my score that I had originally given it while I'm making this video, because it was closed for a couple of weeks recently, and the very last ride I had on it, I usually sit towards the back, and I sat in the second to last car, and my friend was sitting in the back, and I was watching it run, and it looked like the pacing was a bit slower, and this was late in the day. Just coming over that initial crest on the first drop, it looked slower, but throughout the rest of the ride it looked normal. Well, when I rode it, everything about it just seemed rougher, and I don't know why. When I got back to the station and got off the ride, I asked my friend, I said, that felt rougher, didn't it? It just, all of the transitions you could feel. And she said the same thing. She said, yeah, that did feel kind of rough. So I'm docking at one point from an 8 down to a 7 out of 10. Adding up those 5 categories, you get 33 out of 50. Above average for sure. Add that to the 35 from the enthusiast categories, and you get 68 out of 100. So it does not dethrone Superman Krypton Coaster, in my opinion, on this scale. Now, is it more fun to ride than Superman? I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, this coaster is more fun, and I'll tell you why. It's because of the G-forces. That's why. And why is this coaster not ranking higher on this scale than Superman? It's the length. That's the only clear difference between this ride and Superman. Superman is more than 2,000 feet longer, and you have a longer ride duration. So, Wonder Woman, it still earns a good score. That's second place for all of the coasters that I've ranked so far. So there's only one coaster left now. Coming tomorrow, I will have my Iron Rattler ranking on the Hennisphere scale across the 10 categories, and we'll see if it can dethrone Superman Krypton Coaster. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. That was another day in the Hennisphere.